Sounds good. Okay. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for our August Board of Supervisors meeting, either in person or by YouTube live streaming. I do want to mention we just came from an executive session. We held that to discuss some special settlements with our trash collection company who had a poor history for many weeks of missing lots of pickups. So we're addressing that with them, and that we had to do that in executive session. If at any time you can't hear us, please let us know. Agenda, I hope you got, is available on the table as you enter, along with a sign-in sheet, and we ask you to sign in before you leave tonight. Agenda has been posted on the building's entrance door and on the township website, and the meeting is live streaming on YouTube. It will be posted immediately, and a recording will be available through the township website. Written minutes will be available once the board approves them, and we'll have 2 opportunities for public comment. If you choose to comment to the board, we'd ask you to step up to the podium, state your name and address, and speak close and strongly into the microphone. With that, we'll do self-introduction of the board members.
Dave Brose.
Jeff Rogers.
Art Rutledge.
Bob Brown.
Jeff Reynolds.
And to my left is Todd Ziegler, the township manager. In the back in the yellow shirt is Ryan, who is our manager in training as Todd prepares for his
The facial expression. I'm sorry. It was wonderful.
Prepares for his retirement, but it's not too soon. He's still got some time to go. And Wendy Brown, our recording secretary, is joining us via YouTube. And we have excused Tim Bupp, our solicitor, from this meeting.
Has anyone seen Tim? Is he okay?
Yeah, we talked to him.
All right, wonderful.
Today.
Wonderful.
He's alive and well and happy to be home in the evenings.
I'm sure he is.
All right, with that, we will return to our agenda, and the first item is approval of the minutes from our July meeting.
Make motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions or comments before we vote? We'll vote on approval of the minutes.
Aye.
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 5 votes to the affirmative. The minutes are approved, and we'll turn to the treasurer's report. Just a couple comments. I would note interest still stays just under about $10,000. We still average $150 to $200 for pavilion rentals, and fines were close to $1,000. There are a lot of one-time charges, so therefore expenditures are significantly greater than revenues. But the fire tax and EMS taxes were, contributions were paid, as was insurance and calibrated chipping of several roads. So they won't reoccur. So that's why we're about $656,000 over in expenditures, and that's what those items I just mentioned total. Any other questions or comments from Todd?
No,
Questions, anybody?
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, and I think Dave might have got his second in first.
I was going to give it to Jeff.
All right.
It was close, though.
All right, second by Jeff, we will say then. Comments, questions before we vote? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 5 votes to the affirmative. The treasurer's report is approved. This is the first opportunity for public comment. Anybody who wishes to address the board at this time? Seeing no one, we'll move on. And as soon as I find my agenda here, I guess the next item up is the Lacina development, Todd. And this is for preliminary and final land development plan. Have we handled any modifications that were asked for previously?
Yes.
So this is just the plan approval,
Correct.
okay?
Yep.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Elliot Shibley. I'm with Integrated Consulting. We are the engineer of record for the project.
Doesn't appear to be on. Oh, it is. It's very quiet.
Well, I will speak up a little bit.
There it is.
So this project started probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I think our first submission was September of '21. We had some text amendments to work some things out for the active adult. We had approvals for all of the modifications. There were 5 of them in January of 2024. So those are listed on the plan sheet. I believe most of you had acted on those that are
Right.
present. So right now, the delay between January of '24 and right now is just working out some sewer issues, which we have in hand. We have sewer approval from DEP and all the required EDUs that we need for the project. So tonight, we are just seeking approval or action on the plan from you guys.
Todd, the only thing I saw on the plan was that I think the fire chief, Brad, I think there was a concern about just one entrance or exit, and they're proposing a lockbox and a gate. Are you aware of that change? Does that satisfy? Okay. That's one item. Thank you. That's one item. Any questions anyone else has? Or is there a motion?
And if you could make it on the condition that any outstanding
Yes.
comments.
June 30th.
June 30th letter, along with the posting, the bonding.
Is that covered in CS Davidson?
No,
What is the amount of the
Typically,
bond?
I do not see it. Pardon?
What's the amount of the bond?
I don't know. I don't know what that is offhand.
I don't believe CS Davidson has approved it yet.
It probably hasn't been established yet.
Make a motion to approve the project, Larry Cena Development, contingent upon all conditions in the June 30th, 2025 CS Davidson letter has been satisfied, as well as the yet-to-be-determined bond amount has been secured.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second, and your motion includes both the preliminary and final plan in one motion, right?
Thank you. Yes, it does.
All right, and that would be conditional upon fulfillment of the items in the CS Davidson June 30th letter, as well as the bond being established. Questions? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 5 votes to the affirmative, so I guess we'll see some dirt being turned soon.
Yes, you shall. Thank you very much.
We get a lot of questions from people who wonder when it's going to be available.
Not as many as I get about when Aldi's is going to open, I'm
No,
sure.
I get more of that too, you're right. Get both of
Told the
those.
last person that asked me, they don't even have walls up yet. That was 2 weeks ago. Now the walls are up, now they want to know. You too. All right, I'm sorry.
Todd?
Thank you.
I'll
Todd,
see if I can get some answers.
can you turn up the volume on the mics? I think it's quite low.
Can always check with Wendy. If she can hear, we're good.
Yeah, how about now?
Testing.
Testing.
Oh,
Yeah,
there it
that's
is.
better.
Okay.
We got to get monitors for ourselves. Put them under the counter. Tabletop.
All right, the next item is, this is a subdivision, I guess primarily in Hopewell Township. And I think all we're looking for, Todd, is just to formally defer to Hopewell for plan approval and so forth.
Correct. It's off of Hebel Road. All the subdivision and the reverse subdivision, all that activity is taking place actually in Hopewell Township. It's just that a portion of the property is in Shrewsbury Township, which will not be affected by this plan. The only thing I ask that they do, and if the board, approves just allowing Hopewell to approve the plan and defer everything to them, I would just ask that you include in your motion pending verification of development rights on the portion within Shrewsbury Township. That would be the only thing.
So the portion in Shrewsbury Township has to retain a development right?
Yeah,
They have
Hopewell has
verified.
their own development rate program, and they only calculate the acreage in Hopewell Township.
All right.
And then Shrewsbury Township, we determine what they are just based on the acreage within Shrewsbury.
Okay.
So I believe, and they agreed, their engineer, that both development rate tables should be on the plan.
All right. Make a motion to defer the plan to Hopewell Township with the condition that the development rights are verified.
For Shrewsbury Township.
I'll second.
So we have a motion to defer what's called the Miller subdivision to to Hopewell Township on the condition that they confirm and show the development rights that remain in the Shrewsbury adjacent property.
Thank you for clarifying. It was a little muddy there at the end.
You got it. Questions before we vote? We shall vote.
Aye.
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 5 votes to the affirmative, so that is deferred to Hopewell Township. Brings us to reports. The first is the manager's report. Anything you want to add or emphasize, Todd?
Nothing in particular. Just want to note that the invitation for bids will be going out actually tomorrow for the Hametown, the Windy Hill Park improvement
Okay.
projects. So next month, we should have bids, where the board will have to hopefully award one of those.
Good, I had
And then
that
the
question.
project would be completed mid-December.
Okay. I had that question, so I'm glad you answered that. Questions from anybody else? All right. We have no report from the solicitor, none was required. You have the zoning officer, codes enforcement, and the sewage enforcement report. Todd, if there's anything you want to emphasize or questions from anybody? It's a manageable size now with all the closed things removed and seems to be pretty much up to date and covering everything.
Where are we on the security cameras at the parks?
The Windy Hill is completed as of was it a week ago Friday or just this past Friday? I lose track of time. Past Friday, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've been completed at Windy Hill. We talked about Miller Park. We do have one camera there now, but we talked about, we need to expand that camera system. We do have some pricing on that, but we have to work, we're gonna have to get electric into the storage building up there,
Okay.
probably off of Strawberry Road, so we need to get that, but I don't anticipate that'll happen until early next year.
All right.
Did we find out who was shutting fireworks off?
No, I was dealing with the state police a little bit on that, but providing what video we did have, but couldn't identify anyone or.
Okay.
Any other questions for Todd? We have the maintenance report. Todd, anything you want to emphasize there?
Let's see here. No,
I guess
So the final,
yeah, the
speed study.
microsurfacing, the microsurfacing on Mount Airy from Prospect to, I always forget the name of that road. Across the tracks.
yeah,
It's Presidential Heights entrance off.
it's
To the railroad
it's one of the
tracks.
presidents.
Yeah,
Reagan?
I don't know why I can never. It's not that one.
No,
Is it Madison?
That's it.
Jefferson.
Thank you. Madison.
Madison.
Yeah. So that stretch is going to be getting the microsurfacing, and that's scheduled.
12th to
They plan
the
on
14th.
moving, the equipment in on Monday, and doing it Tuesday and Wednesday.
And there are signs up that
Mhm.
say that road's going to be closed for 3 days,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay, good.
I guess except for
Wasn't
the,
down through. I didn't see that.
Are they gonna have something at the bottom of the hill at the light, so people don't have to turn around and
they have it
come
at
back
the,
down?
they have it at the beginning of the road at Mount Airy and Tono. And
Yeah, yeah, but I'm talking about like for people that are at the traffic light at Walmart, at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
So that way they don't go up to like your development and have to make a U-turn.
They have it, I think, I think, Ryan, it's right at the last Walmart exit, I think.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, if we can move or get another sign closer to the traffic light so people aren't turning up and having to turn around and come back down, because that's gonna congest the.
Yeah, but what you're talking about when they actually do the park and all?
Yeah, yeah.
I guess that'll be, I'm assuming they're taking care of all the group.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I'm trying to think is,
Yeah, I mean,
You're not gonna probably see that sign until you turn onto Mount Airy anyway. So
possibly,
if
but
they-
if it was in like the median area,
Well, it's not wide enough for,
All right.
that median's only
All right.
2-3 feet wide.
It's before you hit Prospect Circle, so you could just take the last
Left and
entrance into Walmart. And I
Yeah.
think that's about where the sign is.
But what I'm saying is, if people are going that way, they're gonna have to turn around, they have to come back down the hill, which is gonna cause congestion at the traffic light. And if they don't make that turn in the first place, it's only 3 days.
Congestion won't be any worse than normal because there'll be no traffic coming from down Tallinn.
It's a valid point. All right, I can see.
It ain't worth worrying
I
with.
tried. I tried.
Just be closed during the day or
I think it's gonna be 24 hours, the first night.
What's the date?
We'll
12 to the
confirm
14th.
that. If it is longer, we'll let you guys know.
Doesn't that have to cure or something for
Yeah.
24 hours?
It says it only takes an hour for that stuff to set up,
Yeah, we'll confirm that.
so
Okay.
I was thinking they were opening it open.
And they may be, I don't know.
You know, we're going through all that to resurface that. If you come up the old trail from Maryland Line, they have a sign, the state has a sign along the road, slippery when wet.
Yeah.
So you'll
We'll
confirm
confirm
that for Brad so that the fire company and so forth will know?
Yeah, we don't want the fire truck to have to turn around at Walmart.
Well, the thing is, if Farah and Ian needs to get through, they'll let them through.
Yeah.
It's just that, given the type of application, it's just to have a lot of traffic passing through there, it makes it tough,
All right.
so.
So the road maintenance program is finished.
Yes, yeah,
We're going to share that with us sometime?
yeah, we'll be prepared to do that next month. How's
Okay.
that?
Well, good it's done. That's a big job, so appreciate that. Any other questions, maintenance? You want to comment on this speed study, Todd?
Yeah.
It's
Alright.
complete now, right?
Pardon?
It's
Yeah.
completed.
It is
Yeah,
completed.
they pulled the signs, or the,
And I can,
radars.
Yeah, they're sitting in the back.
are they going anywhere? Are they set up? Ryan, anything?
We're moving them down to,
Right now, we have them here.
851 Stilts Road.
yes, Stelz Road.
There's a lady there that has a concern about school bus stop and sight distance and speeds.
Okay.
So what we told her is we got close to schools
School,
opening,
okay.
we would put speed signs.
That
and-
makes sense.
And Ryan is checking it out to see if it meets PennDOT's requirement to be able to put a
Oh,
school bus stop ahead. They've got distances that you have to meet, so,
You mean have us install a sign
Yeah.
that says, okay.
right.
If you recall, we did the first 6 weeks was when we had the, I'm gonna say, toward, Tawna Road, coming off of 851, going up the hill. That sign we had just as you
On the
cross
flag.
the tracks.
Yep.
Terry Edwards, resident there, came and suggested we move it further up the hill, which we did. And that's what, the figures you see before you now are since that move was made. So, again, look at the 85th percentile, it's 37, speed limit's 35,
down the
and, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's
the
right
other
in
one
line.
that's, I think, even more interesting here is, this one here. So if you look at, going down the hill toward East Forest, 78% were at the posted speed limit of 35 miles per hour, and 3% were 6 mile per hour or greater over the speed limit. And that was out of roughly 59,000 cars over the course of those 6 weeks.
Okay.
And then southwestbound, which is heading toward Tawna, heading up the hill, you had 88% at 35 miles per hour, and 2% that exceeded the speed limit by 6 mile per hour or greater. We did get another email from Miss Edwards, and she said that she had met with the police officer out there, and that he thought it was unsafe, and there's a lot of speeding and so forth. So I did ask for that information so I could talk to that officer or the trooper, just to get some background. And she was not willing to share that name, so I did reach out to our municipal contact, Trooper Grothy, and asked him if he could look into that. The individual that met with her is on vacation, so he hasn't been able to get contact, but he did pull the speeding ticket information. He said that in that area, they had 2 speeding tickets last year. And
In that area is
Yeah.
on the flat
Yeah.
at the church or at
And-
the school.
And he has this information as well, and
Okay.
he stated that based on the number of tickets they've issued in the past and what our speed study, he says that he does not believe there's a speeding issue.
No.
But he did welcome, and I'll convey all this to Ms. Edwards, he did welcome her to reach out to them and talk to her, and that she requests that they spend
Okay.
some time down there.
I haven't seen a state trooper on that road sitting in about 3 or 4 years.
Well, when he
It's
says,
been a while.
he says in the area, that could be,
Well, I'm assuming they mean on the road. And like I said, I've always
Or in a-
expected them to use the park. I've never seen them sit in the park. They'll sit at the church at Whitcraft, Whitcraft and Woody Hill, or in the school parking lot, what used to be CSSYC. It's, I think, Shrewsbury Christian Academy now.
well, this is, oh, okay, yeah,
But it's further down.
right.
And I might have been pulled over once on that road as well, but it's been a few years.
I'm impressed that they issued 2 tickets in that area.
It wasn't me. They actually let me off with a warning. Nice fella.
Questions from anybody? All right, we have the engineer's report. Any questions there? Don't have a recreation commission report. Of course, Gina has resigned, so that's
Still
an
vacant?
open. Yeah, they're just-
Does that require our approval, or New Freedom Borough is just gonna appoint?
no, it requires us too. It
Alright.
requires us plus the rec board that they have. It
Okay.
would be the board first, I think,
Yeah, well, the rec board will make a recommendation.
recommendation.
And the way I looked at today, the intergovernmental agreement indicates that at least one rep from each municipality would participate in these interviews.
Do
And then
we have any interviews set
The
up?
rec commission would make a recommendation to New Freedom Borough and Shrewsbury Township, and we both would have to agree who that person will be.
Do we have any interviews set up?
No, they just started
I was
advertising.
gonna say, they
And the
just-
reason it's taking a little while is because the position, if you remember, is partially funded by a grant through DCNR, so we have to jump through all of their hoops
Okay.
and protocols in order to retain those funds.
But even though that David C. is technically an employee of New Freedom, that's basically administrative part. All decisions and everything are equal. They shared by both municipalities. We have for fire and EMS. Brad, is there anything you would want to share?
So I sent our July wrap-up.
Right.
I wasn't able to make past couple meetings, but I saw there was questions last month about the canceled route. So I tried to cover that in this month's email, that it's part of doing business
Yeah.
in the business we're in. Several examples are, if somebody calls 911 because they're cleaning their oven, it catches fire, that's dispatched as a structure fire. And around here, that's a unit from multiple departments, so we get picked up on that. If it's New Freedom's oven fire, when they get there and confirm, yeah, we don't need 4 engines coming, then canceled.
It's a shame because you know that costs you money and manpower, but like you said, I guess it's just
It's a preventative,
Yeah.
they're getting worse.
preventative
Because then
action.
other times, it's the real thing, so, and the 83 calls, I think I covered that, but,
It's been busy there, you've been busy there.
Hot
Yeah.
dog gate.
yeah, hot dog hot dogs.
Did you get to take any home?
No, they were chicken hot dogs meant for institutional use.
Oh dear,
Oh, really?
that sounds terrible.
Prisons. So, yeah, they were pretty stinky. I put in the email, but I'll share. On Sunday, we were at a structure fire in Stewartstown, and we had 2 firefighters get injured. One was a ankle sprain while removing one of the victims down the stairs, ankle rolled. The other was a firefighter fell 13 feet from the second floor. The floor gave way down onto the first floor, landed on his back, right in front of some firefighters from Glen Rock. Within 31 seconds, they got him out the door, and less than a minute later, had him pretty much stripped down. We're very lucky. So a couple doctor visits, no significant injuries, no tears, no chips, no breaks, just very sore. The equipment, the air pack he was wearing and face mask, Monday morning I had shipped out to get tested, inspected, and any data pulled from the computers on it that we can get. I don't know that any will be relevant, but we want it tested due to the fall.
So he was a Shrewsbury
Yes.
volunteer? Both injuries or just the one?
No, both.
Okay, both were Shrewsbury.
And both happened within probably 2 minutes of each other in separate parts of the building.
Wow. He was searching for people on the second floor?
He was actually pointing a hose at the fire, getting ready to attack fire after the victims came out. All of it's very well documented on helmet cam videos from a couple different firefighters.
Okay.
But we can't,
Just glad they're just sore.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So guardian angels were with him. that
So he
day.
landed on his back,
It appears to look that way.
but doesn't he have a air tank back there too?
Yep.
Whew.
So, and all the extra gear adds about 70 plus pounds.
Wow.
So to whatever he weighed, I don't know what he weighs, that's what he hit the ground with,
Yeah.
weight-wise.
Yeah.
His weight plus 70. So very fortunate, and it was right by a door, so they were able to
Get him outside.
get him up, get him out. Any questions about that?
Now, I came by there back from Ocean City on Monday evening, and there were two separate TV crews out in front of the building Monday evening, I guess interviewing people.
On a brighter note, we just finished the fire camp with Glen Rock, New Freedom, Shrewsbury, and this year Eureka from Stewartstown joined us, and it was a very good success. There were about 36 youth campers between 12 and 17 years old.
Good.
Several are now asking for contact information applications to each fire department, so that is very positive. Everybody worked well together. It's difficult to get people off work for that whole week, so as people could take off work, because the camp is 9 to 3 p.m.
Okay.
They were able to help out with it. I was only able to help 2 days. We had some people there every day, all week. It's a huge undertaking, and this year it was sponsored by the Chase Hartlib Foundation, which is a mother and father that lost their son, a volunteer firefighter.
Oh.
On the way, he was a passenger in a vehicle on the way to a fire call. It crashed. So they started this foundation and wanted to get involved with
Are they
this
local?
project. I
fa-
believe North Cador's.
Okay, so it's
Township,
in
yeah.
the general area.
That's all I have as far as that. I want to check in with you. Do we have an answer? So one of the businesses in the township for about 2.5 years been dealing with blocked exits, locked exits that shouldn't be. For a while, I had a no entry for interior firefighting because of the concerns over those exits. So I just need to follow up on the slide locks.
Yeah. I have not talked to Kevin yet, but
Okay.
I will. And it was 2 buildings that were, initially it was 1 building.
Right.
And that one's been cleared now.
Yeah, that one's doing
That
very
one's
well.
been- Yeah. And then the other building is a problem now as well, so they've been
Okay.
made aware of it.
Right.
But it doesn't sound like there's been a whole lot of improvement, so.
No.
We'll
and-
probably end up having to get Kevin in there.
Okay. Question about a couple of the photos. Obviously, the one with everything stacked against it, JPEG 1, that's
Okay.
awful. But I was under the impression as long as it was 36 inches, 3 feet, what have you. So the ones where the one door is blocked but the other one is not, I would think is still okay, but tell me what your thoughts are on that. Like
Not-
JPEG 2 and then the U-boat and JPEG 5.
I'm not sure which photo you're looking at.
It's looks like a cart in front of the left side of the door, and then there's a U-boat parked in front of a door on the other side, but the other door is accessible.
So my question,
Those are still violations?
my question with these doors are, well, that would be for Kevin to determine.
Okay.
My questions with the doors are, it is very apparent that the panic hardware was taken off of the left door. The holes are still there. The paint pattern shows that there was panic hardware there. And then it has a slide locks to the top of the door frame and bottom.
Okay.
I have
I
better
see that,
pictures if you
yeah.
want.
I think that's JPEG 3, with the exit sign at the top.
Well, there's several doors like that, so.
Okay.
So that's my concern, and last weekend we were there 3 times. It's not their fault. Their fire alarm system had a bad sensor, and I think their alarm company was dispatching it wrong, and they're working with them on that. But,
Okay.
so I went and I wanted to go out the back door to check the back of the structure towards 83, and panic bar didn't work. I had to finagle my finger into the latch to open the door. So that's one side with the panic bar. The other side is slide bolt latch, top
Okay.
and bottom.
Okay.
So that's where my concerns are with those doors.
Gotcha. All right.
Have been a concern, but I can bring it full circle where Sunday, when you have an injury in a dark, smoky environment,
You need to be
the
able to get
exits
out.
have to work.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions?
Well, we appreciate all the information. It's nice to be kept up to date, and you do a pretty good job of doing that for us, so.
Yeah, the rescue's being built.
How
Yeah.
many years has it been?
November will be 3 years.
1.4 mil?
What's the estimated completion date, though?
So honestly,
2030.
we should see it by the end of the year.
All right.
Once they start building metal, they say about 90 days. So what will
Alright.
happen is, the chassis and cab motor being built in Florida, the box that goes on the back is being built south of Buffalo. So when the chassis is complete, it will get shipped to Buffalo. They'll mate them together. We'll go there for a final inspection. It will stay there afterwards to fix up any errors or problems that were found. Excuse me. Then they will bring it back to Lancaster to the dealer for state inspection, that type of thing. Then they will bring it to Shrewsbury, which causes a housing problem. They'll bring it to Shrewsbury, and most of the compartments will be basically empty shells, just hollowed out boxes with doors. And we've already signed an agreement with them that the dealer will build those out with trays, shelves, everything. So there'll be a time period there where they're scheduling that, because they don't know when it will be yet either, the dealer. A time period where they have to schedule it, make sure they have all the supplies, parts for that project. But they found in the past that just sending it back to that stage, the home station, you can look at it with all your tools right there and make sure where you told them you want to put everything is still where you want to put everything.
So you'll have the loan truck plus that truck on site for a while together.
Yes, which causes a housing problem
Right.
because we don't have room. So I talked to Brian at Shrewsbury Borough. Looks like we'll be able to put our second out engine in the Borough garage, which is half a block away.
Right.
And if we need 2 engines, we'll have a garage door opener. The driver goes, gets it, picks up the crew at the intersection.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be in the wintertime, so
Yeah.
I don't know another solution.
Are you gonna need to outfit the new rescue with new equipment, or are you gonna be using the equipment that you currently have?
Existing equipment, right now behind the station, we have a Connex sea container with a lot of equipment from the old one and equipment that we've gotten since, like, right now I have to do the paperwork for a state grant. We got some new lifting, heavy vehicle rescue equipment.
Okay.
We can't fit it on the current one, but we got it in anticipation so it can be incorporated when those compartments are built out.
Okay.
So we actually have the thing they can measure and save inches.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for all you guys do for us, for sure. All right, brings us to emergency management.
Stan Walters, your emergency management coordinator. I did send a report out late this afternoon,
Right,
so I'm not sure if you had a chance really to see it or not. I do have some pictures in there of the, as close to flooding as we came on July 14th. You can see that the creek in Railroad just barely came up over the banks. I didn't get a picture of the parking lot while it was flooded, but talked to someone down there. But you know, we came close,
Close,
but
huh?
not quite. So that was good. As far as drought conditions, we're no longer in a drought. So with all the rain that we've had, we've satisfied you know, everything that the ground needed to no longer be in a drought condition. We're still being impacted by the Canadian wildfires, and that'll be on and off.
yeah.
It's just gonna happen on and off. And then the open items that we have that we're working on. We are in hurricane season now. The peak of hurricane season actually comes around the 10th to the 15th of September. Even though it starts in June and ends in November, it's kind of back-weighted, so it's more likely to have a hurricane to the end of the season. It'd be great if we just got to skip having any tropical moisture, but it's not real likely. Everybody's probably aware on July 11th that there was a statewide 911 disruption. That problem was talked about on the news, eventually solved up at a state level. As far as things accomplished, Med-Ed replaced a failed transformer in Shrewsbury Borough. There was an area impacted in part of the borough. Also, SCEMA was going to take part in National Night Out, which was last night. That activity is normally hosted or sponsored by Southern Regional Police, and they were kind of activitied out after being involved in 3 different carnivals in quick succession. So there is going to be an event during National Fire Protection Week on the carnival grounds behind Shrewsbury Volunteer Fire Department, which we're signed up to be part of that. So SCEMA will have their shelters set up, and we've got all the material that we ordered for National Night Out, so we'll just have
Use that.
things there. So again, just the open items that were there. The final thing I did have, was contacted by someone that I know from other organizations. Jeff Slagle is a resident of the township. He actually lives in the part of the township here that's on the east side of 83, kind of that arrow point that sticks out on the other side. I know him. I've worked with him in other organizations, and so I just put a little bit about him, a bio here, and additional information. But he's interested in becoming part of our
Good.
staff. So
Great.
if anybody has any questions for me,
Questions? Pretty thorough.
thank you.
Thank you, Stan. Just like with Brad, thanks for all you do, too. All right, I guess that brings us to, if you have any questions on the Planning Commission, Zoning Hearing Board. We did not have a sewer committee meeting, so there's nothing to report there.
Do we have
And
anything on the agenda for the sewer committee? But agenda's a bad choice of words. Are we planning a sewer committee meeting at any point soon?
You know, we talked about the sewer authority and maybe working with Shrewsbury Borough and hopefully, you know, restructuring that.
Yes.
To include some township residents. I did reach out to the Pennsylvania Rural Water Association and talk to other consultants, just to maybe get a little guidance from them, because they certainly have exposure to other such type authorities. So I did talk to him. I just need to get some information emailed to him so that he has a little better understanding of the
Dynamic.
the dynamics of the existing system down here. So I think after we get that information back, then I think it would make sense to have a committee meeting.
Okay.
I guess the other thing we need to do too is, now that you've gotten all the information together on EDU and status, is to share that with the two boroughs. That was kind of the next step that we said we would do, and see if there's any convincing to be done that they can look hard and see if there are any they can share with us. But, so we need to set that up too. We probably would, I don't know, we would do that separately or together with the two boroughs.
That we would probably do separately.
I
with the
think
other.
that's better, yeah.
Because it doesn't involve New Freedom for the other one.
Except that they have EDUs.
No, I'm talking about EDUs, both of them,
Right,
but the authority.
oh no,
That's
right, right. Okay, supervisors' comments, you have my list there. I would note that at the LGAC meeting, while those of us in the LGAC recommended that our Southern York County Regional Comp Plan update be accepted, the York County staff, I guess, York County Planning Committee Council felt different, and they have recommended it not be adopted, but there is a meeting next week to kind of discuss that and how we will respond to that. There were, I would say, not critical issues. They were concerned with a couple of zoning issue areas, so there'll be some discussion. It's a recommendation, so we don't have to follow it, but we usually at least consider them. And I did attend the Pennsylvania liquor store reopening and ribbon cutting,
Did you get anything good?
7/17. They gave a 10% discount to everybody that day.
Nice.
And Kate Klunk was there and participated, so I did spend a little time discussing these statewide zoning issues and bills with her. That was a good conversation.
Good.
And Todd and I did it remotely. Todd was here in person with Penn Waste at the district management level regarding their continued missed pickups. We had some conversation about that.
Was that the same gentleman that was here last month?
Yes, plus he had...
Plus the operations manager as
Right.
well.
Right. So if you have any other questions, let me know. Anything from anybody else?
Yeah. Down in Centerville, they're across from Norm's garage. There's a garage. They get a lot of bigger trucks in down there, diesels and so forth. They need to keep the eyesight open. I go down there a lot of times in the morning, and I gotta literally get the front end out on the road to see up the road if there's anything
When
coming.
you come to the stop sign, is it the right side?
Yeah, right across from Norm's.
Okay.
They pour, I think it's stuff that comes in overnight. And I don't know if, because you don't see it much during the day when I come home that it's out there. But when I go into work, I gotta literally stop the stop sign and get my front end out on the road to see if there's anything
Are
coming.
they actually parked in the road right away, or,
Oh, I'm sure they're
Yeah.
in the right of way,
Might
because
be
I'm
in the
sure it's
road.
pretty wide there.
yeah?
I don't know for sure,
But
but
but you lose the sight distance.
it's, the sight distance is real bad there, and because of the speed limit, what it is there, coming down through there, it's not so much what the speed limit is, it's probably what they're doing, but it just, you gotta get out so far.
When you say big trucks, you're talking about big pickup trucks or dump trucks or?
There's been both there already.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's vehicles being dropped off, during the night, or maybe it's all they need to do is somehow paint some lines, hey, no parking here. If it's
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Might be
it's
people,
just too close to the intersection. And it's just been going on for quite a while.
Okay.
I just think it's a safety hazard, and maybe it's time to address it. Because the way we cut the back, far as some of these other places
Right.
because of it, so.
Yep, certainly. Okay.
good comment. Anything else? You guys went to a ball game, didn't you?
I could mention, I had the honor of going to Wellspan Park at a ball game last Tuesday with Jeff Rogers and his wife, as a guest of Jeff Shue, and it was a very, very good game. It was won in the last inning when the home team was up to bat in the bottom of the inning. Tie game, 2 outs, full count in the batter, he jacked it.
Couldn't ask for more than that.
Yep,
So it ended well.
downtown.
Anything else?
Enjoyed the ball game as well.
Okay, good.
Enjoyed visiting with Bob.
Glad you guys could make it. All right, old business. The first item is pen waste contract penalty
One
assessment.
question, excuse me, Art.
Go
Bob,
ahead.
who was that with you? Was that a
Good
brother?
friend of mine, a guy I
good
played
friend
ball
of
with
yours?
over the years.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. We handled that in executive session, so I think we can skip to the revised letter of intent. Do we need to, you should vote on that, I guess, right? Or you don't think we need to?
I don't think we need to because it's just a proposal to them at this point.
Ah,
When it comes back and if we have agreement and worked it out, then next month.
Okay, so we're just going back and suggesting that change.
Yeah, and I think then next month,
As long as that's
if that's
incorporated, then,
acceptable,
okay.
then I think the board next month would vote to formalize
accept the
it.
terms, whatnot.
Do you want to comment any further on the comp plan
Uh,
update?
Nothing other, Art mentioned, we got comments back from York County Planning Commission, a couple things, they want us to look at. So the ad hoc committee that worked on that comp plan update, we are going to be meeting again next week, just to talk about it and review the comment letter. So hopefully we'll be ready at our September meeting to move forward, not to actually adopt it, but to advertise it for adoption in October. That's about all I have on that.
All right, so Miller Park expansion update, Todd?
That is moving along pretty well. The surveying's all completed. We met with the family, they put the easements on and so forth. The septic backup system for the existing old farmhouse, they could not get it on that particular parcel that's being created. So the backup is going to be on part of the ground where we will be, purchasing for the park expansion, but it's all in the bamboo area, so it won't really interfere with what we have plans to do, so.
Okay.
But
You
it'll
said that
be
was-
there, and then there'll be a note on the plan that states, if and when that farmhouse connects to public sewer, that easement for that on-lot septic system is null and void.
Okay, so it's an easement if they need it until that point in time.
Correct.
And the thing is, once the development occurs, most likely they'll have to hook up then.
Right, that's the thing,
Because of the distance and,
right.
right, okay.
Would they then need to remove the septic system, or
On their property?
when they hook up? Or what's gonna be on ours?
Well, what's on ours is just gonna be an easement to allow them to place a replacement, to put a replacement system there if they ever need it. So
Yes.
there's gonna be nothing actually physically constructed on the park ground, unless their existing system fails.
Okay.
And that's because our ordinance requires an
Right.
area
Backup.
for a backup on every lot, just in case.
Okay.
Anything else on that, Todd? Library update. I have a folder about this thick full of the correspondences just in the last few weeks. Not going well. The York Library System has basically decided that small Paul Smith and Mason-Dixon libraries will no longer be members. As of December 31st, their membership ends. They can ask to be a branch or try to be independent, which is probably not feasible. Because as a branch, the hours are almost cut in half. They would not be open near as many hours as they are now. The requirements for the, whatever they call the head of the library there now has to be somebody with a degree in library science. That requirement goes away. It can be filled with a lesser person. The staff would be cut. We've kind of appealed as a group. There's kind of representing the municipalities, myself, Andy Bobby, and Shrewsbury appointed Buck, who actually has done I think a phenomenal job of pretty much the bulk of the work and representing the municipalities. So there have been communications with the county commissioners, with our representatives, Kate Klunk and Christian Hill, and about everybody else we could think of. It's a strange setup to me. The library system is a non-profit organization where the president of that commission has no constraints. Basically does what he wants, and he appoints the board. So the board pretty much says whatever he wants to do. So it's the county commissioners. I think there's a weapon because the county commissioners contribute quite a bit of money, and they could hold that. The state also contributes money, as we do. They have basically said that, well, we expect the municipalities will increase their contributions by 50% when they become a branch. And we have just responded back, I wouldn't doubt, it's a doubt that, but how do we justify that? In fact, we're going to have a hard time defending what we give now when you've cut the hours and you've cut the services. There are programs for kids and other things they're cutting.
Didn't they say when they were here before that they were concerned that they were just trying to basically close the library and seize the property, sell the property off? I'm pretty sure I heard that.
Who knows what their long-term
Yeah.
desires are. Both libraries own their building. Shrewsbury rents the land from the YMCA, so they don't own the land.
Okay.
So that would make it a little difficult to do something with them. And Paul Smith Library in Shrewsbury is the fourth biggest library in terms of book circulation, all the measurements in the county. So it'd be pretty hard.
Yeah.
And Mason-Dixon is not too far behind in that, so but they can do basically anything they want to do.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, it doesn't sound like they're going to go along with it, which means they're going to be forced to go independent.
I don't think they can, and neither do they, because
They just don't have the finances.
being dependent, they would, not so much the finances, but they would lose the computer system they share with the library. Books are loaned back and forth from the libraries. They do the payroll, they do the accounting.
Okay.
So those things they would lose, and that would be hard to pick up on their own.
Gotcha.
They think. So their board will cease to exist December 31st, but until then, there's still additional meetings between the three, and also with Mason-Dixon, they're included in all of the meetings that we've had as well.
Okay.
I think the plan, I think the only plan left is we need to take this public and see if we can't get attention, paper news or whatever. I don't know how well that'll work because we're still a small area within the county, and can you get that much concern? But there are no checks and balances on the library system. They don't answer to anybody. I said it's a nonprofit. None of the board members are local. They're all either bankers or accountants. They're not people in the library or that system. They had a consultant come in and look at all the finances and look at why it's not feasible for these two to contribute as members. In the last 9 years, each of these libraries has lost money in one of the 9 years. The rest of the time, they've been profitable. The drain is the Martin Library in York. So, you know, that's where most of the money would wind up going. You know, there's a lot of power in Robert, and I forget his last name, who is the president of the library system. And there are no checks and balances, doesn't answer to anybody, pretty much does what he wants.
I believe it's
So-
Simpson. Is it Simpson?
Uh,
Simpson?
It might be, but I've been at a couple meetings when he's been there, and, you know, it's a difficult situation for the library. You know, it certainly isn't good for our community, but I'll let you know where it goes in the next couple months. There's still several meetings to take place. Yes, yes, that's it, Lambert, you're right. Thank you, remember that. So unless there are questions,
Brad had something.
Are there other libraries in the county besides these two?
oh yeah, there are,
31st?
it's either 11 or 13 libraries, and there will only be 3 other member libraries left. One of those is Hanover, and I think they're reluctant to go after that because they're unionized and they're part of the Hanover borough, and Hanover is unionized, so they don't know how to handle that. And I forget the other 2, but I think there will only be 3 member libraries out of 11 or 13, and there are a couple categories. Some are called like pocket libraries, and others are full branches.
I just had a thought / question. If they're afraid of unions,
Don't even mention that.
could Paul Smith unionize?
I think Hanover only does it because they're part of the borough.
Huh.
You know, where Paul Smith is a standalone. You know. So I don't think that's feasible.
Maybe they want to unionize with Hanover Borough.
Has there been any discussion during the course of this about the Huffnagel Library in Glen Rock? I mean, I think they're still closed.
Yep.
For damages, isn't it?
Yeah, there's been
Problems.
Not a flood, but
discussion
wa-
about
water
that.
damage or something.
I personally think that eventually they'll shut it down, the library system. I think the people are trying so hard to get money to open it, they may be reluctant to do that, but my opinion, that's all it is that it probably won't exist at some point in time.
So there'll be no libraries in southern York County.
That's
Also,
what's coming,
unionizing
basically.
doesn't solve the revenue issue.
Well, there isn't really a revenue issue if they're a member, and probably not one if they're a branch. There's a revenue issue if they tried to be independent, and I just don't, even they don't think that's a feasible approach. So, I've got all kind of correspondence. If anybody wants to see it, you can ask me anytime you want, you know, where it stands, but I'll give you a report next month. If something comes up, you know, I'll always contact you and let you know.
Now, not to drag this on, but just one last question. You said the county commissioners are inclined to keep, maybe rein in.
No, they're inclined not to be involved.
Okay, but you said something though about they get a lot of funding from
They-
York County.
Yes,
So if they did get involved, it may have some impact,
I think it could.
but they've shown no interest.
I think Julie Wheeler, who's the president,
Yeah.
has been contacted and responded, and essentially, I think they won't involve it. Now, Doug Hoke says he wants to meet with them, but whether he will be able to do that or not.
Okay,
I don't think they would withdraw the funding, but I think it would be a good threat,
yeah,
Because of that funding, Paul Smith gets $40,000 and Mason Dixon gets $30,000. So if you take all the other libraries, it's several $100,000 that
Sure.
they're probably contributing. And I believe Robert determines where that money goes and how, I think there's a formula, but he can and then there's state money, and I think he controls where that money goes too, because the state contributes something to it.
and I know you said he appoints his board.
Yeah, yes, he
Who-
recommends the
Who
board.
appoints him?
I don't know, I guess wherever it first started, but I guess the board does. I mean, he answers only to the board, so the board
That
would,
he appoints?
that he appoints with the approval. So he recommends somebody and
It's-
the board approves it.
It's a perpetual
Yes. That's what it seemed like to me.
This way to stop that is revenue flow.
Yeah,
Can we back up a second? Maybe
Sure, did I miss something?
Maybe I was reading something else here, but the revised letter of intent, the DCED.
We
Yes.
didn't
we
do
talk
that.
about that?
we did, briefly.
Okay, I was reading something else, I'm sorry. So there's no objections to that?
No.
Okay. For those that may have an interest out in the audience or listening, this has to do with the fire study. We're trying to get some funding to move to the next step. But the next step is, the way it was worded initially was implementation of recommendations in the Southern York County Public Fire Protection peer-to-peer study. That wording is going to be changed to consider and evaluate the viability of implementing the recommendations. There may be none that are implemented. We don't know. So it's really just the next step to dive into all those recommendations a little deeper to see if any of them make sense, and maybe none of them.
It's just got to continue in the evaluation because we could get grant money to cover it.
Yeah, so,
But-
right.
Yeah, we want to be very careful that it does not make any commitment to do any implementation of anything. Well, I guess we can hit another kind of controversial issue next on the York County SPCA and their financial strains.
Yeah, this is a really hot topic right now in the municipal administrator manager world. The York County SPCA is getting a little tight on cash, and of course we went from, I think we were around $2,300, $2,400 a year. If you remember this past year, we were over $5,000, and of course that affected every municipality. But they want a lot more from the municipalities. I know I had a personal conversation with the director, and he well, flat out said that municipalities have been getting a free ride, but no more. So some of the changes that they made, this really all came about, maybe some of you folks had saw the articles, and I did provide them to the board. June of last year, York County SPCA set a policy that stray dogs can only be taken to the SPCA by the police, a dog warden, or I think a game warden, or an animal control officer. So if you find a stray dog that runs to your backyard and it hangs around there, can't find the owner, and you drive up there, they will not accept that dog.
I guess it's my job now. My wife would love that. She'll adopt anything that has fur.
But they want us to call the state police and take away, their time to take a dog up there. And my conversation was, why? You know, this
Are
is,
they-
to me,
are they
this
afraid
is like
people
this,
are dumping
this is
their
like
pets
a
on them?
simple. Well,
That's the only thing I could think of.
no,
And saying they found this stray dog, but it's actually theirs, like,
well, the director was explaining to me, their concern is public safety for like you, me, whoever finds a dog. But here's the reality.
there'll be a lot more
If-
dogs running around.
Well, if it's a friendly dog, it's gonna come up, and if I'm gonna call the dog warden, the animal control officer, it's gonna be friendly and stand with me. If it's a dog that's not friendly or whatever,
It'll
it's
run
gonna
off.
be gone.
Yeah.
So if I'm holding it and it's friendly enough for me to hang on to it to get here, why can't I drive it up there? That's just one of many things.
Yeah.
But as a result of that policy, the SPCA in Adams County says they have seen an increase, I believe, of 23% of stray dogs coming in, and they're coming from York County.
Of course.
So they now have set a policy that you have to be a resident of Adams County. Now, they still accept from residents. But part of the other problem then is, and the administrators, I think it's not next week, but the following week, the SPCA is going to meet with the York County Municipal Administrator Managers Association. And, you know, just to give you an idea here, let's see if I can find it here. Their revenues, have been kind of steady and, 18, 19, 20. Significant doubled in 21. But then was down, 1.2 million, then it's back up a million, now it's back down,
They're
about
still over a million.
800,000. So they're all over the place. But what I and others have
Oh,
an issue with is, here's a nonprofit that's struggling a little bit.
the executive salary,
in-
3.5
In 2020, the executive director salary was, I'm going to round it up, 119,000. In 2024, it was 199,000.
Holy
I have no
cow.
idea what it is in 25. And they have a clinical medical director that went from 118,000 to 171,000. Same
That's
with
quite a
the
jump.
shelter medical director. Finance director in 21 went from 81,000 to 134,000.
sounds like someone needs a pay cut.
That's better than
Now,
what
what
I get.
I find, I would be really insulted if I was the veterinarian. The veterinarian gets paid less than all of those folks, except for the cow.
That's better than what Ryan
The
gets.
veterinarian gets 134,000.
That's
But, and I don't know to what capacity, because I'm interested in learning since 2021, how many paid staff positions have they added? Because director told me they have 65 paid employees.
What?
So, yeah, so there's, I don't know what the solution is, but, yeah.
It's sort of like the library, it's very difficult to defend or accept any increase.
And in my conversations
With the decrease in services.
Yeah.
with
Wow.
the director was, he keeps saying, I want to work municipalities and whatever. and what. I hear you saying that, but you have no interest in compromising, none whatsoever. And to me, the resident bringing the animal up, to me, that's about as simple as it can get, and he refuses to budge on that. So I don't believe he really wants to work with municipalities.
I think
I
we
don't.
need to get that.
And frankly, his conversations were that, I know the industry and this is how they do it, nationwide, whatever. Well, it's like municipalities. No two municipalities are the same. And you can't tell me every SPCA is the same. And I think you need to mold yourself to what the region is and so forth, but.
Well, for an organization that's in financial trouble, how in the world you can justify the increases in the salaries they're paid? I mean, that's just, in my mind, unheard of and incomprehensible. And I don't know how we could ever defend paying a lot more money. The problem is, there is no alternative, right?
No.
Yeah, I mean, they have a monopoly, that's the problem.
I think we need to get big balls to do a study and see where all this money's going to. The Doge.
Well, I just want to make you aware that's coming down the pike, and, you know, we're coming into budget season, and they'll be sending out their letters, how much they want from us. I don't know what that'll be. but,
When is the group you belong to meeting?
In 2 weeks.
Okay, so that'll,
Well, it's
so we may have some more. Are they gonna, I mean, I assume they're as concerned as we all are about the salaries and things
The other
like that.
municipalities, yeah, everyone that's in that,
They're not
that
afraid to
group is
they're not afraid to talk about that,
no.
because I sure would.
I know some of them, they won't be afraid.
Good.
No.
How much of a percent increase, or did they tell us, or what are we expecting?
No, we do not know. Don't know. And
Do you
know,
have what
during my
we've contributed?
conversation was, he offered to give me talking points to convince the board. I said, well, first of all, I work for the board, not the SPCA.
Right.
And secondly, I don't agree with your approach and how you're handling this, so I don't need any talking points to thank
Well,
you.
you can come to the board. We'd like to talk to him.
Do you,
He
Doug, do
needs
you
to come
have?
out.
He will come, he told me, if he's invited.
I would love.
What's that? He said,
He said he would come if he's invited.
well,
Well, how many animals do they get from York County, from Shrewsbury Township?
I do have that report, I'll send that to you. He
it
just
was
emailed
never
that
very
to me,
many.
but, yeah.
In the past, they used to give us a support, the prior director or whatever, and wasn't it in the like 20s or?
Yeah, it was, I'm
It
not
was-
sure.
it was-
It was
I mean,
never that many.
No, it was never that many. If you add,
Two things.
Yes.
We need to invite him next month, or the month after, if it gives you more time for your meeting.
No, if the board
Se-
wants him, the board tells me.
Well, I'm only
invite
one
him.
member, but I feel a consensus is we'd love to talk to the gentleman.
and I think the other thing is we need to know what the numbers
Is
have been.
first.
Because I remember
Yes.
it was a really small number
Yes,
that they handled in the past.
and I also would like to know what we've contributed annually over the last 7 to 8 years, to see what the increase has been. We see what their revenues and expenses and executive compensations are, but
So,
what all goes into that? I'm sure there's additional funding, it's not just.
Well, looking at this chart, looks like there was a year or two there, they had some really good contributions, so all the staffing decided to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And none of them are willing to take a cut now that the contributions aren't there.
it's a
I
lot of
think
money.
maybe what I'll
You-
do
you-
is I'll email him.
Seriously.
I have a follow-up email I need to send to him, and maybe what I'll do is ask him what the salaries are for the key employees and officers for 25.
Yeah, that's a good question.
understand how they could have 65 employees in that
And what their intake has
Unless-
been and confirm the number,
them are working like 10 hours a week.
confirm the number of
That's the thing,
employees.
they might all be part-time, I don't know, but
Also, total assets, 9.9 million. I guess it'd be nice to see the breakdown of how much of that is cash, how much of that is property, for example.
And those assets came down $1 million between 23 and 24.
They must have lost something.
No, but that's a good question too, Jeff.
All right.
Well, I hope we don't have too many more nonprofits around. You know, and even worse with the library is their meetings are closed. They don't allow anybody to attend them. They don't allow the library to attend them. They don't have any minutes. They won't share any minutes of the meetings. They won't tell you what happens
What's that?
in their meetings. The
Well,
library.
basically, they're the same way.
Yeah, pretty much the same way. That's what I said. We're dealing with two monsters here.
are we inviting him to attend next month?
What's that?
When should we invite him? Next month or the month after? September, October?
I'd like to know what they're expecting out of us first.
Okay, so wait till maybe October.
Does that give you time from a budget standpoint?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what we do. What happens if we say, we're not gonna increase our donation beyond what it is now? Do they say, bye? Is that,
Grace Pollock down here. She's still around? Animal Rescue?
we give Adams County the donation
Well,
and
you
they
know what,
take
I,
it.
we laugh, but I did think about talking to Animal Rescue, given the number of animals that have been historically,
Yeah, because we only give
taken
them
into
like
consideration.
1,500
yeah.
a year.
You mean the one at Heritage? Ah,
Because I just don't think our numbers are that much, but if we could confirm that too, if it's only,
well, and they offer spade and neutering too, don't they? Still, or did they cut that back?
I think they still offer that, but it's.
Because I don't
but
think.
Now they
If
return.
Heritage,
it.
I don't think does that.
For your,
Any type
for your
of veterinary.
personal animals, you know, your pets or whatever, they still do offer that, and at a significantly reduced price than what you would get at the veterinarian office.
Yeah.
Now, one of the programs they have, I think, is an amazing program, a really good program, is their spay, neuter, and release program for feral cats.
Okay.
I think the report I saw, I think they had over 7,000 cats that they did last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that is a big number that they do.
They do.
Right.
I've taken quite a few up there myself, not recently, but 2-3 years ago. And you have to be there at 7:30. They accept them from 7:30 to 8 o'clock. And every time I was there, there's a lot of people there in line waiting. They do that 5 days a week.
Okay.
And there's certain people out there that
But that,
that they volunteer their time and go around the county and help neighborhoods with cat colonies. There was one lady I spoke to, she said, I have 2 more cats to get from that colony. Now she knows which one's which. Now they do tip their
Yeah,
ears,
yeah.
so you know. But she said, that will make 50 cats that I brought up here.
wow.
Yeah,
Bob Barker
So-
would be proud.
yeah.
All right, we got one item left, I guess, and that's a standard stormwater
Yep.
management agreement. Nothing
Nothing
unusual.
unusual about that.
So if we can have a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the stormwater operation and maintenance agreement at Mount Airy and Toma Road.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
actually the
for the active
Laracina.
adult community.
That's for the Laracina property.
Right, the Laracina property. If no questions, we shall vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
5 votes to the affirmative, that's approved. You have a couple pieces of correspondence there. I don't think any of them would have questions. And unless there's somebody who wants to address a closing comment,
Seeing none, motion to